Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Drivecast. Today, I'm going to be playing Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit for the original PlayStation. I used to play this game a lot back in the day, and I'm sure I'm going to suck at it. So bear with me because I haven't played it in at least 15 years. And I bought this specifically for this purpose. So this is literally the first time that I have played it since then, apart from just testing the disc to make sure it worked. Anyway, Dalton is here with me. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
And we are going to discuss Star Wars. And there will be spoilers. You have been warned that the title of this stream literally says Drivecast Episode 3, The Last Jedi Talk, spoilers. So you were warned before you even came in here. I have seen it once. I'm going to go see it again with a friend of mine eventually, whenever he has the cash to do so. You've seen it, what, once?
Yeah, just once.
I kind of honestly feel like this is the kind of movie that you need to see more than once. Really? Yeah, you've seen it once.
Oh yeah, just one. I plan on seeing it again sometime, hopefully soon. Cause it seems like a movie they gotta see a couple times to like, kind of like soak in.
Oh, I have to press start. Okay. Yeah. Because this is a weird movie, man. It really is. Like, I was not expecting it to be as strange as it is, right?
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking too.
Corvette. Like, I was legitimately surprised at some of the things that happen in this movie. And let me start off by saying that I was right. 2 years ago, when
When they work on a copy Empire.
yeah, 2 years
Like
ago
how-
when the Force Awakens came out, everyone complained, "Oh, it's just like A New Hope, and all they're going to do for the next one is copy Empire Strikes Back." And I said, "Hold your horses. We don't know that this is the case. This might be just a case of they know they're coming off of out a couple of a trilogy of films that nobody likes, and they want to win the fans' trust and they're planning on doing that by doing absolutely everything right. Focus more on that than anything else. So they did the practical effects, they did the camera from the first film, they did on-set shooting, all that kind of good stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And they also treaded on familiar ground. That familiar ground being A New Hope. It's very similar to A New Hope. I can't deny that. I don't think anybody can deny that.
Yeah.
But I said they're not going to do that for the second game. I was right. They didn't do that for the second film.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think they were that stupid to like do that again. Because I mean, that'd be kind of dumb to do that twice in a row. Because that'd be really noticeable at that point. It'll seem kind of lazy. But like I understand like why they had to like play it safe the first time around. Because they didn't want to risk trying something kind of different.
I said they were playing it safe on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why. I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that either. And I think it was the right move. Like, to try to regain your trust, tread on old familiar ground, and then you will have the trust of the fans, and you will be able to do whatever it is you want with the next one. And that's kind of what they did here. It does have some familiar themes to Empire Strikes Back, but it is not Empire Strikes Back.
Oh no. Not at all.
But it does have some familiar themes to it, like Rey goes to backwards ass little planet and trains with an old Jedi Master. That's what happened in Empire.
Yeah.
But the reaction to this film has been absolutely polarizing.
Oh god, this is the most polarizing film in the series.
People saying that this is the worst Star Wars film, that Disney has ruined Star Wars, which just makes me sit there and go, did you guys watch Attack of the Clones?
Yeah. I've seen people go as far as to say it's the best since Empire, and some people say it's the worst of all time. So it's like, it's a very mixed bag of opinions. Yeah. This film.
I would not say it's the best since Empire. It's got too many problems that I have to ignore for it to be the best since Empire. Okay. But there are good things about it. Like, visually, this movie is absolutely stunning.
That's what I was thinking too.
It is gorgeous. It is well shot. The camera work is excellent. The visuals are just beautiful. And the acting is good across the board. In fact, on a technical level, this is a well-made film, except for the pacing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
The pacing is awful.
Weird. It's very weird.
And I'll tell you exactly why the pacing is awful. And you'll probably agree with me on this. Every single time the film cut back to Finn and Rose and their plot line, the movie came to a screeching fucking halt.
Because they literally do nothing that impacts the plot of the movie at all. Like, they're there doing something for no reason. Yeah. Basically.
They do nothing that impacts it. Like, you could cut out their plot line entirely, and it wouldn't affect the film.
Yeah. Because I think they had to go to that one planet, the casino thing, to see the boy who's going to be the main character in the next trilogy.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing, was that the boy who has Force powers winds up with the ring, and he's going to be the star of the next trilogy. And I think that's the only reason that their entire plot line exists, because they don't accomplish their goal. They get caught.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, they almost get their fucking heads cut off, basically.
Yeah, by Phasma, who...
Like, literally.
Who was almost pointless in this film. She's in this film for, like, 5 minutes.
She shows up randomly at the end, and then she dies almost immediately in terms of, like, screen time. It's like a minute of screen
remember
time.
how we were told Phasma would have a bigger role?
No.
She's got more on-screen time, but it's not really a bigger role.
No, she confronts Finn, and then she's like their executioner, and then he fights her, and then she dies, and then it's over.
Yeah, that's all that happens with her.
She's more useless than in the first movie. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's like... if she becomes a fan favorite, it will be because of design alone.
Yeah.
Kind of like Boba Fett did at
exactly
first.
the same. Yep. That's all I was thinking.
Boba Fett has like 2 lines in the entire trilogy.
Yeah. He barely talks at all.
Yeah. But, yeah. Their entire sequence was, not only was it pointless, it was filled with mixed and stupid messages that failed to... Whatever political point they were trying to hammer home, they fucking failed at it.
Yeah, I was like,
Because I think they were trying... What do you think the political point was of that entire sequence, apart from slavery is bad and don't be a jerk to animals?
I think it was like a jab at like the rich, like bourgeoisie types.
Yeah,
I guess
it was supposed to be like, I think it was supposed to be like anti-capitalism or something,
or it's like anti like I don't know, like corruption. I guess because we're like arms dealers or something.
Yeah. hate
sold
rich
arms,
people
too.
because they're rich.
They
That's
hate
what
him.
I got out of
Yeah.
it. But that's fucking stupid. And I got out of it an anti-capitalism vibe, but that is undermined by the fact that the guy is like, yeah, we don't just sell weapons to the Empire. We're not evil like you think. We're businessmen, and we sell, or the First Order rather, and we sell weapons to you guys as well.
So it's both sides just do the same thing, really.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember that was like a big thing for like Finn's character, I guess. Was like him hearing that from Del Toro's character.
Yeah. Del Toro's character was pointless in this too.
Yeah, he's like he's supposed to be like a Solo type, like a Han Solo type.
He's like a code breaker
But he's-
who betrays them.
But he
And
acts
the
like
reason
he's
that Finn and Rose do not accomplish a goddamn thing.
Yep. Because I gotta find a code breaker for something, crack a code for something.
To sneak onto the ship so they can turn off the light speed tracker, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they set up the plot line about the light speed tracker in Rogue One? Because I thought that was kind of just a throwaway line.
I'm not sure.
Jyn or Urso had when she was looking through all the different files on the final planet of that film. But I thought she said they're researching light speed tracking or something like that.
Yeah, that might be like a new thing they're trying to like establish in this these new movies, like different tech and stuff.
Yeah, some of the, but yeah, whatever message they were trying to convey there, it fucking failed, and it was really confusing. And it felt like it felt like it was supposed to be some kind of SJW nonsense. And I can tell you what was SJW nonsense. Why is every leader in the Resistance female?
Oh, I just noticed that.
They're all female.
I think.
Okay. Leia leading is cool. I'm fine with that. She's awesome. But to have every leader in it be female is kind of weird.
Yeah, because Laura Dern plays some vice admiral.
Laura Dern plays a bitch.
She plays a bitch. Yep, that's her character. She's a bitch, but then she turns out to be good. I guess is what the message of that. I don't know what that was.
But if you're gonna she's a bitch. But why don't you tell Poe what the fucking plan is? Why
Yeah, I was like, what is the whole point of I kind of wish that Leia would have did the kamikaze thing into the Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it'll make more sense for her to do something like that. That way, I don't know. It just seemed like more reasonable, I guess. I guess what it isn't reasonable is the scene where she floats in space.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird. It felt really weird watching that.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Laura. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to talk about Laura Dern's character because she fucking sucks. Okay, yeah. She is in charge after Leia gets knocked out cold, right?
Yep. And she basically makes decisions that
don't make a lick of sense.
They don't make, yeah. And then Poe's basically tries to start a mutiny against her.
Poe tries to get her to tell him the plan so that he won't sit there and go, okay, why are we all about to die for this bitch?
Yeah.
And everybody won't sit there and think,
then,
we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Everyone was okay with Poe's mutiny because they all thought they were gonna die otherwise, and she refused to tell them the fucking plan. What the hell is wrong with you, lady?
the purple hair dye's gotten in your head.
The whole
brain.
What was the whole point? To teach Poe a lesson or something?
What was the lesson he learned? The not question authority and the
which is a
follow
terrible
orders?
lesson.
There's no good message to that.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Because then at the end, she turns out to be good, I guess, and we're supposed to feel good for her.
We're supposed to care when she sacrifices herself by running through light speed through.
I think that's Yeah, that's a really cool concept I never actually thought of before.
Snoke shit, but that scene was awesome,
Oh,
but
I
her
like
death
the.
was not earned.
Yeah, that should have been Leia, in my opinion.
Yeah, it should have been Leia. It would
That would
have
make sense for it.
resonated a lot more emotionally.
Yeah.
Although I was glad after that Chewie finally got his goddamn hug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And also, Luke on screen with her.
Yeah, got to see Luke and her on screen together. That was awesome.
Yeah, because I had to like remind myself that didn't happen in the first movie.
What, that Chewie
Did
didn't
they-
get a hug?
Oh, that there was all that and like that Leia and Luke weren't on screen together.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that until seeing this.
But yeah, it doesn't resonate emotionally because you don't give a fuck about Laura Dern. You're
she's
sitting
just
there
having
like you're sitting
'cause-
there cheering for Poe when he does his mutiny thing.
That's what I was doing. I was like, I felt good for Poe's character. Like, yeah, fuck this bitch. Stand up. I mean, because they're actually using their set phasers to stun shit, which is kind of weird seeing again.
Yeah.
Because they brought it up one time in A New Hope and never came up ever again. But like they were doing that, they're shooting that back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm rooting for Poe because Laura Dern's a bitch in this movie. And then
Yeah, I have a big problem with the fact that Laura Dern's character does not tell Poe the fucking plan.
I mean, it's easier and it makes more sense than fucking being a bitch for no reason. Because
Yeah,
the screenplay said to be a bitch, so I guess you gotta be a bitch.
that is one of my bigger problems with this film is Laura Dern's character just fucking
guess-
sucked.
I guess she was like that so Poe had a conflict in his
Yeah.
plot, I guess. I don't know. Because he had to have because at the beginning of the film it establishes that he's like, we already know he's a hothead, but we see him in action being a hothead and doing things head on and not listening to orders. And like I guess he like learns, by the end of the movie he learns not to do that, which is kind of a weird message in a way. But
yeah.
because he says the exact, like he does like it's like a flip. He does like the same thing happens to the Finn later, in which, oh my god, yeah, the Finn scene where he's gonna sacrifice himself for the greater good, and then that
And Rose stops him for.
Rose stops him by literally just crashing into him without knowing they were gonna survive or like what. Like it was, I was like, what? I was like watching like, what the fuck? Like how would
Yeah.
how'd she know they're not gonna die immediately from that?
Yeah. Like how did she know she wasn't going to kill both of them and then get
That was-
everybody else killed?
Yeah, like she was really like,
Like
Going
Finn
off on it.
sacrificing himself like that would have been a good way to go out.
yeah, like that's what I thought. I actually thought that was gonna happen for a little bit. Then all of a sudden she showed up out of nowhere. And figures. I guess that was a really short-lived like ship in that movie. Like a
Oh,
ship.
God, I'm fucking terrible at this game.
Oh yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. But
I actually read that was supposed to be Finn and Poe in the movie in the original draft.
yeah.
They actually did all that, but like they.
Yeah, there were all kinds of rumors about Finn and Poe being gay, and guess
I
those
remember
are
that.
thrown out the window. Thank God. You know, because
That'd be
that is
interesting.
not
Yeah,
that is not the vibe. That is not, and that sounds rude. Me saying thank God, and it's not supposed to, but that is not the vibe that I got from Finn and Poe at all.
No.
I got like a brotherly love kind of thing.
Yeah, I got the same vibes too from the first one, especially.
So I think them being gay, when I say thank God, it's because I think them being gay would have felt out of place in a brotherly kind of relationship.
Yeah, that was kind of like taboo and weird.
But I think Laura Dern's character exists solely because SJW nonsense. Hollywood has to put that in all their fucking movies now.
I mean, you can tell from the purple hair. That's a.
Yeah.
Purple
Why the hell did she have purple hair anyway? That's a strange.
I guess it's like a Star Wars. I don't know, because I don't even remember that many Star Wars characters having colored hair like that.
Yeah, it's because
Off the top of my head.
Because they really didn't. But what do you think of the portrayal of Luke in this?
I like that. I like that that subversion. Of like it's like different for its. I like what they did with that whole plot where he has to he lost faith.
Yeah.
And like the Force and the Jedi and
a lot of people really hated how they portrayed Luke, but I
Like,
thought they did it well
canon
because
stuff.
like, okay, he is standing over Ben Solo, right? And he senses the dark side. He senses that Snoke's got to him. And this just instantly pisses him off. And we've seen him get immensely pissed off and just attack with all his rage. We saw that in Empire, in a Jedi, right?
yeah.
Because that's what he does when he gets so fucking angry with the Emperor. He takes that anger out on Vader.
On Vader, yeah, and he cuts his hand off again.
Yeah.
And then he kind of comes to his senses, and
So he has anger issues, as we previously established it. Whether this should piss him off enough or not is debatable, but he gets pissed off, and in a moment of weakness that he admits is a moment of weakness, he draws his lightsaber, and then he snaps out of it and goes, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm Luke Skywalker. I can't do this shit." But before he can put his lightsaber back away, Ben wakes up and thinks, "Oh my God, Luke's trying to kill me."
Kylo.
Yeah. And then the entire academy gets destroyed, and he feels he's shamed and runs off to the middle of nowhere on some backwater ass planet. So I can understand that. I think that's a logical progression of events.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense why he's late. And I get what they were trying to go for. They were trying to go for this grumpy old, like, when you first see Yoda kind of thing, right?
Yeah. It kind of like changes with the by the end of the movie. But I guess he does change by the end of the movie.
Yeah, when he comes back at the end of the movie and stands up in front of the whole goddamn First Order with a lightsaber, which is what he said. Like, what am I gonna do? Face down the whole First Order with a lightsaber? Yeah, you kind of are.
Yep.
But that felt more like the Luke we know and love, at least to me.
Yeah, same here. And turn out to be a ghost, I guess, or like a projection.
Yeah, he was projecting himself.
Okay, then he disappears on that thing too, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that I'm not sure I'm okay with.
I guess he's a ghost the whole time.
Yeah, I hope he comes back as a Force Ghost in the next one or something, because...
yeah, I hear you. That's what I'm thinking too. I saw, I mean, it was kind of cool to see Yoda as a puppet.
Yeah,
again,
Puppet Yoda was awesome, and Puppet
Frank Oz is
Yoda
back.
Frank Oz plays Puppet Yoda in this, and it's an amazing scene.
I was like, oh.
That might be my favorite. That might be my favorite scene in the entire thing. That, or when R2-D2 shows him the recording of Princess Leia from the original film.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, I don't blame you if you well up at that shit, man. You know, that was powerful. I love that. So I didn't mind this portrayal of Luke as much. I don't get anywhere near as pissed off as other people did. What bothered me was, is Luke really gone? Is Luke not coming back for the next one? I wanted to see Luke get into a lightsaber fight with Kylo.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing, and we really didn't get that. In fact, we didn't get any lightsaber on lightsaber.
Yeah, there was none of that.
There is one extremely awesome lightsaber fight, though.
There is, with Kylo Rey facing off against the guards of Snoke.
Yeah, when let's talk about Snoke.
Oh, poor
because
Snoke.
we still don't know anything about Snoke, and now he's fucking dead.
I guess he's
Kylo
yeah.
Ren.
I guess he's not Darth Plagueis like everyone was saying.
But we still don't know anything about him.
Yeah,
He's dead.
He's gold member. He has that fucking gold member sweater on from fucking Austin Powers. That's my theory.
They do this good job building up Snoke to be this interesting, badass, extremely powerful villain, and then he just dies like a bitch. And I'm like, oh god damn it.
It's like what Razor Fist said. It's like if Return of the Jedi ended like, I mean, it's like when the Emperor dies like halfway through the movie, and then there's still like another half to go. Like it feels really weird. It feels out of place and.
Yeah, it felt like Rian Johnson did not know what to do with Snoke, so we just killed him off.
Literally just killed him off. Okay. So much for that potential.
And like we built him up in the previous game, like who the fuck is this guy that tempted? And it's like, oh, he's just some old evil dude.
He's some old dude with a weird fucked face.
Yeah, that face has been through some battles. That face has got some kind of story to tell, and we don't get to know what it is. Unless they somehow find a way to bring him back in the next one, which I hope they do, because god damn it, I want to know who Snoke is.
Hey, if Darth Maul got cut in half and he survived, apparently he's in canon again.
Yeah,
so you can survive that, I guess.
I want to know what the fuck the deal with Snoke is. I don't want to have this like repeat of Darth Maul where, he had 2 lines of dialogue and then he died. I guess we'll never know.
Yep. I have no idea what they're gonna do with the next movie. Honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because like none of the original cast is gonna be in it at all. I guess because I guess it'll care. Oh, of course Leia can't be in it.
What the fuck are they gonna do with Leia? Because she survives this movie.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna die from Kylo shooting the rockets at her at the beginning. I thought that was gonna happen from like because it was in the trailer. I was like, oh, he's gonna kill her off.
Now you want to talk about that scene
where she floats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that felt so weird watching that.
It is so weird looking. I get what they're trying to do. I keep going the wrong way here.
Like Leia uses the Force for the first time, and
yeah, she's using like Force pull or whatever to pull herself. Like, if the theory behind it, I think, is if Jedi can lift other objects with the Force, why can't they lift themselves?
Yeah.
Which is a perfectly valid question. Why can't Jedis use that to basically fly?
Because that and you're like in zero gravity, so it's really easy to do that. It makes sense, I guess. But I mean, it was so weird seeing that, though.
Yeah.
I actually thought she got sucked out of there, and I thought she was dead for good. Now that felt so weird. Like, oh, they're just gonna like just casually kill off a main character. It's like holy, they just like that, like just really suddenly.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, they're actually gonna do this?
Yeah, I thought she was gone. And then she's like, oh no, I'm not dead. I'm gonna float my ass back in here. And I get what they were. I think I get what they were trying to do with that. I think she was just using the Force to pull herself back onto the ship, but it's still weird to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know either, honestly.
I definitely don't like Snoke dying.
I don't either.
I could have gone without the scene where we discover where the fucking blue milk comes from.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I don't know how.
I could have gone without that scene. Thank you, Rian Johnson, for including.
That was so pointless. It was just there for gross out humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of gross out, like a lot of the humor in this.
Yes. Oh, speaking of
feels
shitty.
out of place.
Yeah. Especially at the beginning of the movie, and it was a horrible mom joke reference type of thing. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was like not even 5 minutes in, and there was already like a freaking your mom joke. Like, what the fuck? It felt so weird. It was like a serious scene, and it just but the tone shifts way too quick, way too fast. Especially the biggest one was when Kylo was it was the second or third time Rey and Kylo were talking via the Force, and he didn't have a shirt on, and
he was shirtless for some reason.
Yeah, and then like she's like it like starts off like serious and normal, and then she's like, why don't you put on a towel or something out of nowhere, and then it goes right back to being serious immediately after saying that. Like, what's the point? It feels so weird.
Yeah, like the last one had some funny moments, you know.
Yeah.
And the last one's the funniest Star Wars movie, period. The Force Awakens is the funniest.
Oh, yeah, some of the Chewie and Han chemistry was really good, like the lines they had.
But that had better writing on its comedy than this did.
Oh yeah, the Ryan is like so out of touch.
That
sort of thing.
The comedy was mostly did not land.
No, like the Porgs were there to sell toys and to be comic relief.
Speaking of the Porgs, let's get back to. I just want to rant here a little bit. Okay, so you're trying to have some kind of anti-capitalist message on the boring ass casino planet in this film.
Oh yeah.
In a Disney film. Is there a company on the face of the planet that has benefited more from capitalism than fucking Disney?
They just bought freaking 20th Century Fox, or just Fox in general.
Yeah.
Damn. About
Disney
Lucasfilm.
owns like all the Marvel properties now. They can make They can make X-Men films if they want to.
They can make Deadpool films if they wanted to, which is fucking scary.
Yeah, I think they own The Simpsons now, don't they?
Simpsons, yeah. They actually don't own Fox News and those things. That was like a clause. Like they don't actually own the entirety of Fox, but they have all like the entertainment shit. They own Hulu.
One, they intend every single time something has an anti-capitalist message like this, they intentionally misrepresent what capitalism actually is. And two, I can't take any anti-capitalist message series coming from frickin' Disney.
Yeah, they're the kings of it.
Not only are they the kings of it, but they put the Porg in this specifically because capitalism. That is why the Porg exist. They exist to sell toys.
Yeah, like even like at least like the crystal critters or whatever they're called. The crystal
at least
foxes.
they do
like,
something.
They actually
in the
had.
film.
Yeah, they actually had like a purpose in the plot of the film. The Porgs are literally there for no reason in terms of like the plot and the story. Like they're just there for no reason. They're like the Jar Jar Binks of this movie. I wouldn't go that far.
They're not that.
They're not.
And they're not in that much of the film.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't go that far. That's like blasphemy right there. But
they really aren't that bad, but they undermine your message even more so than saying, oh, by the way, the gun runners here also give guns to the good guys. Does. If the political messages of this film were just confused and nonsense, which you expect better when it's kind of SJW bullshit.
no, not really, yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this film's biggest problem is the fucking pacing. It's like 2.5 hours long, and it feels like 2.5 hours long. And you could have cut 20 minutes of this film out by at least cutting down on what Finn and Rose were doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like watching fucking Lord of the Rings or something. It's like, oh my god.
And it would have been a better film as a direct result of that.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't love it either, but I don't hate it. I think this gets more hate than it deserves.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, I recognize all its flaws, and I have issues with it, a lot of issues, to be honest. And like, I still came out of that theater like feeling I had like a fun time watching it. Like I mean, I just like enjoyed it even for its flaws.
Yeah.
I think.
So what? Yeah, have we named any flaw? Have we not touched on any flaws that you had with it?
I basically had all the same issues you had as well. To be honest, like mainly like the comic relief was very out of place. So that was one of my big issues when I was watching. I was like, oh my god, some of it's just cringy.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I was like, you got like already. It's starting now? Like, oh my god. I was like so scared for that movie at that point. I was like, oh no, please don't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I guess it did slow down somewhat in terms of how often it's like showing up, but I mean, still.
Yeah. But it would switch back and forth between Finn and Rose, which I would go, oh god, more of this. And then Luke and Rey, and I'd go, oh yeah, more of this. Because Luke and Rey's story was way more interesting. And they had good on-screen chemistry, too.
Yeah, I thought so, too. Like, there's a couple...
Luke,
yeah.
Luke was just... Mark Hamill was great in this film. He really was.
As much as he didn't like his character in it, he still did.
He's actually apologized for saying that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did on Twitter.
Yeah, because he's really going out. He really doesn't like his direction at all. A lot of interviews. I guess he's getting flack from the higher ups, like they telling him to stop and giving him bad face for their brand.
Yeah, but I wanted to like this one as much as I liked The Force Awakens, but I feel like I might have, but there are just some strange killing Snoke. Why did you kill Snoke in the second act? Not the second act of the film, but the second act of the trilogy, I mean. Why do you do that? You don't even give him a story. He's just dead now.
Because I think all the things set up in the first one aren't like they don't actually know what they're gonna do with them at the time. So like the next director and writer actually like comes up with what those things are. So he basically just killed off all of the stuff from the first one. Her parents, like the theories about her parents
reveal pissed me off too.
They're just nobodies. Snoke gets killed in like the first like third of the movie. Not even like the halfway point. It didn't feel like.
Which granted you could the fight scene following Snoke's death with the Praetorian Guards is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Watching Kylo Ren and Rey fight together was fucking awesome. I like that a lot. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I may have fought beside you, but I'm still not a good guy. Okay, I didn't see that coming. I thought she was going to turn him or something.
Yeah.
That was a good twist.
Yeah, they really need to it felt really long at certain points too. Like what you said. I was like, oh my god.
We needed a big chase scene with the fox horses or whatever the fuck they were.
The Last Guardian things.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking in the theater. I was like, what the fuck? Last Guardian.
Basically, yeah. We need a big chase scene with those because padding. You know? It was pointless.
It was pure fluff.
As I mentioned earlier, their entire plot line of this film solves nothing. They accomplish nothing.
I think she was in there so they could appeal to the Chinese audience more for the movie, because it's not like Star Wars doesn't do well in China at all.
I've heard that before. I don't know. I've heard she isn't actually Chinese, though. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I heard from. I think I just heard a hearsay about that, because I know they kind of did that with Rogue One in a way, with
Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Who was one of the better parts of that film?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Didn't have much depth to him.
Didn't have much depth to him, but but watching him fight was badass.
Yeah, he got to do his own choreography and everything.
Yeah, this film, man, I need to see it again. It's hard to know exactly how I feel about it after having only seen it once, because it's so not anything that I expected it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I went into it like realizing it was a very polarizing film and split halfway on opinion. So I was like going into it with like the expectations that it's going to be different and subversive.
I didn't expect it to be as subversive as
It was very, yeah. Like basically all like the speculation and ambiguity in the last film is going to be written off for either for no reason, or they just don't know what to do with it, so they just write it off. R.I.P. Snoke, and R.I.P. Rey's parents being more relevant.
Yeah, and they could go back on that and go, yeah, Kylo Ren lied to you. That's a possibility, and I kind of hope they do.
Yeah.
That would be kind of a good twist. Like, Kylo Ren lied to you. You're Luke's kid.
Yeah, because I mean, it'll make sense for him to lie, so he doesn't.
And you know what would be more amazing than that? Kylo Ren lied to you. You're Luke's kid. Here's Mara Jade.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Bring that EU shit back. That EU shit's good.
Yeah, Mara Jade, if you don't know, is Luke's wife in the extended universe.
She's fine.
She was a smuggler turned Force user and Jedi who was trained by Kyle Katarn, who is the star of the
Dark Forces series, or the Jedi Knight series. He's the real one who stole the plans of to the Death Star. First mission of Dark Forces: steal the plans of the Death Star. You don't need a fucking 2.5 hour long movie to tell that story.
It was the very first mission of Dark Forces.
Yep, I always remember that. I thought that was like cool when I was a kid. I was like, oh, I just stole the plans of the Death Star. It was me.
Yeah.
Oh,
all in all, I'm not completely disappointed in this film. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, there are disappointing things I'm disappointed about in the movie, but it's not enough to make me hate it. Like, I feel disappointment very much so, but at the same time, I came out of that theater feeling like enjoyed. Like I had that sense of enjoyment. Yeah. That's all I really care about when I see a movie. Honestly.
Yeah. It's not the worst. I mean, I would rather watch this again than any of the prequels, and yes, that includes Revenge of the Sith, which a lot of people think is good.
It's definitely better than the other two, but at the same time, that's like saying...
Yeah, it still has a lot of the same problems that the other two have, though. Like, the pacing is still not very good.
Random, useless, cringy plot lines. Like,
yeah.
More writing, like a bottom tier writing.
Yeah, more bad dialogue.
I wish
more poorly shot dialogue sequences delivered by wooden ass acting.
I wish I could just wish my feelings away.
More,
the sand, yeah.
More boring ass politics that nobody gives a fuck about.
At least there's not as much taxation jargon bullshit. I'm like, oh my god. Because I was watching this on TV a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh man, these are really fucking worse than I thought. When I was a kid, I thought they were bad even, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah. It's still, like, it's got, the one thing, its big saving grace is it has a lot more action than the other two.
Yeah.
And
the last one, there's like nothing happens in the whole movie. It feels...
Attack of the Clones is just painful to sit through.
Yeah, because everything looks fucking, like, I don't know, it just looks bad. In terms of just like how like all the CG blends in sometimes, and
yeah, all three of them use way too much CG, and that's not true of The Force Awakens.
Yeah, all on location.
Yeah, I can easily forgive The Force Awakens for basically being A New Hope because it does everything else well.
Oh yeah,
I like The Force Awakens. This one is not as good as The Force Awakens.
No, yeah, I like The Force Awakens more, I think. Looking back on it.
but I was glad that it wasn't just Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's I had in the back of my mind too. I was like, I hope they don't do that.
I hope Abrams doesn't come back and go, yeah, let's do another Death Star.
Oh God, no more Death Stars, please.
We've done that twice. We don't need to do it again. Did you watch the Nostalgia Critics review of it?
Yeah, I wasn't able to get around to that yet.
Oh my God! Wait till you see the scene with the Praetorian Guards, and you will laugh your ass off. I know I did.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that. I gotta check that out as soon as I can, honestly. Because I mean, like this, I really like the Force Awakens one he did. Because Brad's in them.
Yeah, this one has Chris Stuckman as well.
Oh, that's right.
Which is cool.
The meme where he's like, "Oh, I remember that from in my childhood," or there, yeah, there's like a meme where he says like the same thing in every review.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like I grew up with this or whatever.
Yeah, but decent movie, I think. Its badness is way fucking overstated. I understand the direction they headed with Luke.
Yeah, I like that. That general concept.
Puppet Yoda was awesome.
I thought Hayden Christensen was going to show up as like Vader, like Ghost Vader. That was so funny. That would have been so funny to me if that happened.
But Puppet Yoda was great. Basically every scene with Luke and Rey, apart from like, here, let me get blue milk out of the titty of this elephant monster.
Oh yeah.
Apart from that, which I could do without, the
like
stuff
that.
with Luke and Rey was great.
Yeah. I like that scene where it was like a freaking like David Lynch film all of a sudden where she's in that one room and like she's looking at that mirror or like the glass or whatever and like
when
like,
she goes down into the mossy hole thing.
It turns into like this really like weird surrealist film.
Yeah.
All blue and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool, like visually.
The sequence where at the very beginning where he attacks where Poe attacks the dreadnought was fucking amazing.
Yeah, all the action scenes in space were really fucking fun to watch. I felt good watching
that. And the action sequences, aside from the action sequence down on the planet too, was really really good. When they had the old clunky flyers that they were flying into battle to meet First Order, that was awesome.
On the red velvet cake planet.
Yeah. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought that planet was really cool with like the red, like the sand, or the salt. I mean, I guess it was salt because I one random scene with that dude trying it.
Yeah, the scene with Luke and R2-D2 was great.
Oh yeah.
When Luke shows up at the end on the planet with Leia and they get their nice little moment together and you finally get to see Leia hug Chewie and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff was great.
Oh yeah.
And he faces down Kylo Ren and I loved all of that. So it's people saying that there's nothing good in this film. You're full of shit. There's plenty of good in this film.
Oh yeah.
There's also plenty of stuff that I don't like, and
there's plenty. Yeah. There's
in
plenty
depth
of
about
both.
So it's a far cry from a perfect movie, but it's something that I would watch again.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Anyway, we should wrap this up.
Yeah, I just realized what time it was.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. We greatly appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody, and goodbye.
Bye.